Jack Bosch and
Michelle Bosch. Welcome everyone to session 4 of the Land Profit Masterclass number 4. Today we're talking about bringing the money home. You know, today is all about selling, is about bringing the bacon home. And we are so excited, so thrilled to have you here today, where this is really where, you know, we close the loop in part in terms of helping you guys create a 6- and 7-figure, you know, boom right now, starting in 2021. And so super excited. How's everyone feeling? Tell us in the chat.
I see Eric here. I see Cindy
There's
here.
Cindy again. Cindy's showing up every single day. I see her here on my screen. I see Colby too.
I see Joel. I see Sarah.
Hey,
I see. There's a bunch of pages here. Turn on your cameras on, guys.
Lori,
I want to see you guys. Obviously, if you're like
Rudy,
naked
Tony,
or so, don't turn your camera on.
Yeah, if you're naked, please don't turn it on.
But if
Hi, Sylvia. Hi.
Hello. I see Patrick.
Hi, Patrick. Hi, Lynn.
All right, wonderful. There is a lot of people in here already.
Awesome.
And there's already
Hey,
the
Ayana.
chat box. We're getting busy in the chat box. Good morning. Frank is here.
Good morning.
Okay, let's get going. We have 1 minute to go. We have a lot to cover today.
Yeah, so make
I got
sure we
notes
also
and notes and notes here.
get this bad boy out, our workbook, that you guys have it ready so that you can start taking notes. You should be up on section 4, which is page number 12. And so yeah, so let's get started. You know,
yeah, it's 9 o'clock Pacific. Let's get started.
We are excited. You know, we are at the same time looking at how the business in the world is changing out there. And in 2021, we believe that there's going to be 3 categories of, you know, of investors. The first category is, you know, the ones who attempt to get started. They don't have the right support infrastructure, the right strategy, the right vehicle, really. And that's not you guys, because you guys have the mechanism, you're here, you know, but it pains me for the ones that don't, because no matter what they do, you know, if they don't have even the right vehicle, you know, they're going to fail. Now there's a second category, and those are the guys that have not, you know, really mastered the fundamentals. When I talk about the fundamentals, is identifying, knowing what constitutes a good area. Actually, the timeless business principle skills of marketing, of selling, of negotiating, you know, that really don't understand how to set up, you know, their pipeline, their deal flow. Sometimes they say, you know, I'm not able to close deals, but it's not that they have a closing problem, is that they have a deal flow problem to begin with. So there's a lot, you know, that are in that second category that will have not mastered the fundamentals. And it pains me, because they might also, you know, they might also fail, but you guys are here. So you're in the top 1%, in that minuscule top 1% of the people that, number one, know that showing up is the first step towards success. So super excited to have you guys here today. We are starting with where is my own, the key power levers to selling properties quickly and turbocharging your profits. Because at the end of the day, you know, when we talked on Monday about creating, and even on Tuesday, I think we did a reverse engineering example of 400,000 or 500,000, whatever that number was for you. You know, I want you to recognize that there's a way to simplify. You guys are already working a lot, and we don't need to complicate things and create more work for you all. So today is about simplifying on the selling side as well, and really imagining, you know, and closing our eyes for a moment and thinking about how would it feel, you know, to have that first $15,000 check in my pocket, in the bank account, or seeing the wire coming in, or how would it feel, you know, to retire my spouse? How would it feel to go on that travel, you know, on that vacation that we've always wanted, to pay off my debt? How does it feel to have buyers, you know, begging to buy your properties? How does it feel to have actually a bidding war on your properties? Because that's exactly what we see on the inside, you know, our community, the Land Profit Coaching Masters community, of what's happening. So this is it right today. Let's get started.
Yeah, so literally imagine how it would feel, not just having your first deal, but having that living a life of abundance, having cash and cash flow coming in, right? Having waking up in the morning and not knowing that you don't have to worry about money at all. Like who would like that lifestyle? Now open your eyes and go into the chat box and give us a heck yes here right now. No, we already have 250 people combined between Facebook and here. So to make sure I want to see like 250 heck yeses, right? From every single one of you guys up here. So great.
I actually wanted, right before we came back from Hawaii, as many of you know, we were on a month-long vacation there. And right before we came back, Jack and I kind of like were sitting at the beach, looking at our last sunset before coming home. And we were really celebrating all the challenges, all the trials, all the successes, all the victories, because all of that is really, stored in financial abundance. Everything that you go through, every expansion, every contraction, every challenge that you face. And what we were celebrating, at the beach that day was that we were celebrating incredible peace of mind. We were celebrating cash confidence. We were celebrating the options that our family has. We were celebrating, I have never felt so alive and so comfortable in my skin and in my potential and in the things that I'm here to do, and so clear on my purpose like never before. And so we were celebrating that, we were celebrating that we're available to our daughter right now in one of the most critical stages, which is, she becoming a teenager. And I want, I want that peace of mind for you. I want that financial and cash confidence for you. I want all of these things for you as well. I want you to, maybe if it's not sitting at a beach, maybe it's just a normal moment, a moment where you come to this realization and you're like, yes, I'm celebrating this too. I want you to be in that moment of celebration as well.
Who wants that, guys? Put it again in the chat box. Give us a heck yes. And to add to that, literally, what was it? Yesterday morning, I drove Sophia to her first day of school as an 8th grader. And I asked her, Sophia, so the summer's over, right? What was your favorite thing about the summer? And she's like, the month in Hawaii. And it's like, okay, well, how so? Like, obviously, the month in Hawaii, right? You play on the beach all day long, you eat papayas and pineapples and things, and get shaved ice and stuff like that all day long, of course, right? But I was like, what about it? And then I was expecting her to say, horsing around on the beach, playing, and it's like, what? Just the fact that we were just hanging out and that I didn't have to worry about anything in the world. I was just in the moment, and we just like did whatever we wanted all day long. You know what? Being able to give a 13-year-old that gift of being able to be with the family and doing whatever you want all day long together, that sets like a foundation for her of how she wants to probably, hopefully, have her life look like, right? Yeah. Have her life look like. She understands that there's a different things, because guess what? Her friends' parents, her friends' families couldn't do that. Now, financially they can. She's in a private school where everyone is doing really, really well. But guess what? Her friends' parents are medical doctors. Her friends' parents are attorneys. Her friends' parents are surgeons and things like that. And they can take a week out of their schedule. But if they don't cut people open, if they don't do surgery, they're not getting paid, right? So there's a substantial qualitative difference. There's a completely different quality of life between being able to do this and do deals from over there. And we had the Notary Public come to us several times to sign deeds, to sign deeds for properties that we are selling while we are in Hawaii over there. And they just came to our condo, and we signed a bunch of stuff, and then we went to the local UPS store and sent it out. But that quality of life, that's what you can look forward to. Who wants that quality of life of being able to take your family whatever the heck you want and then just be in the moment, right? Who wants that? That's what we're going to talk about today. So today, if you grab your workbook, where's mine? Right over here, is we're talking about selling these properties to bring the bacon home, right? Who wants to make some cash by selling properties, right? Who wants to get the cash in the bank, right? Let me see. Right. So, okay.
And I want to honor you guys, because I'm on the homework post. I see that so many of you have already taken action. I mean, there's been people like you in prior master classes that have already, just like many of you, picked areas, found counties, have a list downloaded, are on their way to printing it out, to sending mailings. And so you guys have been taking action with us just here for free, during this masterclass, and implementing alongside with the support of an amazing community. And we can't wait for you, to continue to guide you to do that, to bring you basically to the finish line.
Because
I like what I was talking about earlier, of us having that moment in Hawaii. Like, we truly want that for you. We truly want that for you. It's the 2.0 version of yourself. And there's constant, I would say, mini deaths of the old you and rebirths of a new you, that are going to be coming. And when you're inside of a community where, people have normalized incredible levels of success, sometimes right now your goal might be here, and then you're going to be surrounded by people that are at this level, and you're going to start normalizing that. And the next 2.0 version of you is going to keep on coming and coming and coming. And it's going to be a great feeling. So,
and let me tell you one thing, there is actually, you think they always say like it's crowded, no, there's not crowded in the life of abundance.
Yeah.
It's not crowded at the top. There's actually space for top. We want you to come up, right? The hardest thing right now is to find people to go on vacation with, because nobody can take a month and go on vacation, right? So it's like that's like, because they all live a
we're like
different
looking
life.
at friends. I'm like, can you guys
let's go.
afford to come?
They can financially afford it, but nobody can make the time to go a month there, here, or a month there, or so on. Right? Of course, that's Stephen says Japan's problem. But guys, just remember, we are you. Right? We're not different than you. We're just in chapter 19, and you're in chapter 1, 2, or 3. Right? We just have lived this already. We came here as two immigrants with two suitcases and a bunch of student debt, and not knowing and not being any different than any of you guys. We're not smarter than you. You're not less smart than you. So it's this. We just have. We are you. We just already have moved into the next phase, and we're waiting on that next phase for you guys. We're pulling you up from there.
We have already been the guinea pigs. We have already made all of mistakes so that you guys don't have to. And you guys can just capitalize on people that are at the top of their game right now, basically in the top 1% in the entire country when it comes to land flipping. So. Right. Number 1.
So that's it. Let's go. What are the key 6 power levers to selling properties quickly and turbocharging your profits? Well, first of all, this relates to what we said yesterday in yesterday's session. And by the way, if you're new to this here, if this is the first session you watch, make sure you go into the Facebook group and you binge watch the other sessions, because all these sessions are recorded and in the Facebook group, in the guide section, but they're going away on Monday. We're going to give you the weekend to binge watch, but they're going away on Monday. So make sure you are catching up on those very quickly. The reason we take them away is that if you have something available forever, are you ever going to take advantage of it? Are you ever going to do it? And the answer is no, right? If it's always available, you can always do it tomorrow. I know people live in Arizona, have never been to Grand Canyon, because like they're born and raised in Arizona, never been to the Grand Canyon, because it's always there. I can always go next week. Yeah. I can always go next month. And as a result, they never go. If the Grand Canyon would go away next week, guess what? Everyone would go there right now. And that's exactly the same thing. In order for you to take action, we got to take it away. Yeah. So we got to take it away. So we're taking it away on Monday. So you have some urgency to take action.
Also, here, right? Check up on top on the banner. Yeah, the banner has changed. It's giving you
in the Facebook group.
Facebook group, it's going to show you that there's already some bonus sessions that we have for you all today, where we're bringing some of people, everyday people that have made tweaks, that have made this work for them, regardless of the station in life that they're in. We also, I think, have there on the banner, we have a behind closed doors Zoom call as well, a fast track Zoom call.
That's happening this afternoon.
That's happening this afternoon at 4 p.m. as well.
Pacific time.
So make sure that every day you start checking the banner. Tomorrow we still have tracking what matters with our panel of coaches. And so
we do a deep dive into the exact metrics and how to measure your success, and how to pivot and adjust into more profitable areas, and really measure what you're doing, so that you can build this as a system and as a true.
So that you can do more with less.
Yeah, exactly, more with less. There's a principle called efficiency versus effectiveness. Again, if I look at that, if you wanna, I don't know, open a door, you can do it with a key, or you can do it with a cannonball, right? Both of them will, or with a bunch of dynamite, both of them will open the door, right? Both of them will be effective. The key, though, is much less effort. right? The house flippers, as Mike shared with us on Tuesday, the house flippers will, in order to do 50 deals a year, have to send out between about 100 and 150,000 mail pieces a month in order to get to their 50 deals.
Yeah.
We send 2,500 letters a month or 3,000 letters a month to get to that same amount of deals, right? Once you got through that testing period and you honed it in, you got your counties right and all this kind of things, that's the first domino that's so important, right? So the key is much easier. So that's the difference between efficient. The key is efficient. The effort is a turn of a wrist, right? The dynamite is effective, but not efficient, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. House flipping works, of course, right? But it's a huge amount of effort. It's a huge amount of tentacles, right? You got to line up financing. You got to get people on their boots on the ground to look at the property. You got to estimate repairs. You got to get rehab crews out there. You got to do all these different things. And then you got to have a huge budget. You got to get the money. You got to write checks. You got to have inspectors, appraisers, and city code and all this kind of thing. Get licenses. Get all this kind of stuff.
It's not meant for a beginner, really.
It's really not meant for a beginner. And in land flipping, you
Or
have
to
none of
scale.
that. Yet you make the same or better profits.
Yeah.
So land flipping is much more efficient and much simpler. There's still work involved, but it's much simpler than house flipping. So that's the difference between effectiveness and efficiency. And it's the same thing now. And if you crawl under houses, you smell all kinds of bad smells, says Kobe. Yes, absolutely, right? That is true too. So now what are the 6 key power levers to selling properties? Again, it comes down to what we also talked about yesterday. You want to start with having a pre-marketing plan.
The
Like
exit in mind when you buy the property.
Yeah, when we sell a property, we ready to put the property out there. We don't just put it at a random price and then we sit back and wait what happens. No, for scalability, you set your listings up on a schedule. You set your listings up and you look at it, you set it up, you put it out there, and we'll talk in just a few moments exactly how you set up your listing. We'll talk about the AIDA concept of how to structure your listing. We talk about all these different things today because it's a deep dive into selling properties. So stay with us all the way to the end. And but we actually go run it for a week and then we see, did we get a lot of inquiries? If not, there's something wrong with the listing. We got to adjust the listing. If yes, then, but nobody buys it yet, then we need to do price drops, right? We need to do marketing changes. We need to do adjustments to it. And you pre-plan those adjustments and you learn how to pre-plan with those adjustments with our coaches when they work with you in our one-year program, right? Now, also the second one is, so the pre-marketing plan. Second one is that you want to, over time, again, the goal here is not to build, to do one deal. Right. The goal is not to do one deal. One deal is like anyone can find a deal, right? But the goal is not one deal.
Trying to create spring with just one bloom.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you don't create summer with one bloom, right? You create abundance by having a scalable, repeatable, profitable system that you implement, right? And like Jeanette, for example, who's going to come on live in just a moment, in a few minutes here with us, who has built this system now and has done just close 34 deals, right? So basically, one of the things you want to build as you build this business is what's called a buyer's list. Now, we haven't talked much about a buyer's list yet, but a buyer's list is one of the most crucial things you will be able to do over time to build up your ongoing success. Over time, if you have a list, a buyer's list is a list of people that have indicated that they're interested in buying a piece of land in the area that you operate. So the first piece of land that you present them might not be that perfect piece of land for them. But the second one might not be the perfect one. The fifth one might not be the perfect one, but the sixth one might be for that person, right? So if you have a list of people that you can go again and again and again to, over time, as this list grows, you will be able to sell 20, 30, even 50% of your deals right to your buyer's list without even having to market them to the open market out there. Right.
Yeah.
Now that allows for scalability. Now, doing a buyer's list has specific kind of things that you need to do, right? Things that it includes. You don't just add a buyer to a buyer's list and ignore him for 3 months, because then they think the next time you contact them, they don't even remember who you are. They think you're spam. You got to build a relationship with that. So there's certain tools and steps that we teach, right, with when our students work with us, to exactly how to do that, right? How to set them up on an email list, how to email them once a week, what to email them, how to engage them, and things like that, right? But you want to engage them, you want to work with them over time. So that's number two. Number one is pre-marketing plan. Number two is multiple results to buy, multiply your results to buyers lists.
Yeah.
Number three is then also, as you start doing multiple deals, like 20, 30 deals and so on, guess what? You don't want to use a bunch of paper and have a bunch of folders or Excel sheets that get corrupt and things like that. You want to use the power of a CRM system, a customer relationship management system, a deal flow system. And again, we have that system that, and we train our students on exactly how to use them in a 2-day training session. That's from morning to evening, exact details on exactly hands-on how to use that system from A to Z.
Yeah.
And we basically run you through the entire process, learning how to do that, right? So that you can then go and run those deals. You can get data from there. You can put the data in. You can send your letters from there. You can do your deal analysis there. You can save the addresses. You can save the details on it. You create your listings from there. You create all those things from there, and you have tasks and you have reminders and you have it's a team, websites, and your team can work together. It's a full-blown business system that we've created that you can utilize to scale your business from it, right?
Yeah.
How cool is that, right?
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Helps you build sales funnels, keep track of your buyers list, etc.
Exactly. So then the next thing now is actually the most important of them all.
Yeah.
And that is the quality of your power listing. Now, the quality of your power listing, we are going to talk about that as item number 4, I believe. Yes, in item number 4 a little bit. Yes, in item number 4 under the 3 levers to create power listings. That's where we're going to go into it a little bit more detail. So for now, so it's kind of about 30 minutes or so from now, we're going to go into that in much more detail. So stay with us for that. But I want to just mention, obviously, the quality of your listing is the number one overriding thing that leads to success. If your listing sucks, guess what? You're not going to get, it's going to sit there. And I'm going to show you, this is actually the difference between, that's a problem that a lot of the people that sell the properties has had in the past, because they're using a random realtor out there. Now, let me ask you, do we have realtors here in the group, right? Who are the realtors here in the group? Now, if you're a realtor, wonderful. You are the exception. You are wonderful and you are awesome. But outside of you, and I have a real estate license too. I don't need it. I don't use it. I just own it. I just have it sometimes for larger deals that we do where I can represent myself. But here's the thing. Outside of you guys, who are of course awesome, 90% of all realtors suck. 90% of all realtors are just not really good at what they do. You guys are the exception. You're fantastic, of course, right? But they and actually realtors don't even suck, but most realtors, 90% of them
know how to sell land.
Are house realtors.
Yeah.
House realtors. And selling a house is a completely different ballgame than selling a piece of land. It's not harder, it's just different. Like when you're a house realtor, what you do is you put up a listing, right? You get the photographer in at sunset and he takes all the right pictures with all the right lighting. Perhaps you stage the house. There's staging companies that put furniture in and things like that. You then you do a broker's open, a preview. You do an open houses. You do all these different things, and as a result, people walk through the house. Somebody loves the house. Somebody buys the house. Well, you can't do an open house on a piece of land. What are you going to show them? The weeds, the grass, the dirt, right? You can't stage a piece of land, right? What are you going to put furniture on the land? What does that do, right? You can't really take pictures of the land.
And take wonderful pictures.
You could, but they might look a little weird. So you can't really, photography is important, as you can do drone things and stuff like that, but most realtors don't do that. They don't get a drone. What they do is, here's what they do. Here's what most realtors do. Because they're unfamiliar with land, what they are, modern art exhibit. Yeah, that could be fun. So what most house realtors do is they go on Google Earth, they take one picture, or they go into county, take one picture of the property, or they take a picture of Google Street View of just some shrubs, and then that's what they put a listing up with, and they don't describe anything, they don't dream build, they don't tell you anything about the property, and they expect that property to now fly off the shelves. Yeah. Well, it ain't. Right? It doesn't. It won't. But that's what we're going to talk about in item number 3, create power listings. Because when you sell a property to a retiree, you're not selling a property to the retiree. Yeah. You're selling the dream of a dignified retirement. You're selling the description of how far is it to the next Walmart? How far is it to the next pharmacy? How far is it to the next grocery store? How far is it to the next medical office? How far is it to the next ballpark? How far is it to the next lake? How far is it to all these different things? So when you describe a property like that, you create interest in the property because you're showing people what they are actually looking for. Realtors don't understand that. They show you bedrooms and bathrooms and kitchens and things like that, but they don't show you the possibilities. So having the power listing, and it's not hard to do that. You just got to understand it, how to do it, and then really hone into it and get the proper advice. And sometimes even like when our coaches work with our students, sometimes, and most of the people even at the first thing, even if they were in coaching, get it wrong. So they get it wrong. And then the nice part is that if you have that ability to plug into a coach and talk to the coach, and
Kind
the
of
coach
like we
looks
were
at it.
saying yesterday with Ellie Correa, you know, when she brought her listings to Master Coach Aaron Williams, Aaron said, you know, they're no bueno. We need to do these and these and these tweaks.
Right.
And in a moment, and she's a realtor herself, you know, it's a matter of just learning what the tweaks are that are gonna get the actual property sold.
She's a great house realtor, but she didn't know how to sell land.
Yeah.
So she followed our steps and she created the listing, and the listing was 80% there. But the difference between 80% and 100% is like 3 tweaks. Now, those 3 tweaks come from experience, guys. Knowing what these 3 tweaks are comes from having sold dozens and dozens and dozens of properties and knowing what to say, what headline to put, what picture to put first, which angle to phrase it, how to sequence the listing.
Yeah.
And once Aaron did that with Ellie, guess what? Boom, within a matter of a week or two, these properties were on a contract, and she had a month where she made $67,000 in 1 month. That's more money than many people make in a year. Would you like to make 67 grand in 1 month? Give us a heck yes right here. Who would like to make 67 grand or more in 1 month alone, right? Yeah, that is a good heck yeah. So again, we have now 300 something people here. I hope to see 300 something heck yeses here. And we have 50 people over on Facebook. Make sure I want to see another 50 heck yeses over there on Facebook too.
Yes.
So again, so that's number 4 is the power listings. Number 5 is, we talked about it already, but it's giving people multiple options on how they can buy the property. In other words, we talked about wholesaling, right? That's what everyone talks about there. House wholesaling, house wholesaling, flipping. And it makes sense in the house flipping world because a $400,000 house that you flip, you can't do seller financing with, because you would have to have, because you're buying it for $350 and you're selling it for $400. You would have to have $350,000 in cash in order to do a seller financing deal. Well, our world is different, guys. In our world, very often you can buy a property, you can put it on a contract for $3,000, sell it for $30,000, and get a $4,000 down payment on the property. The $4,000 down payment is actually more than what you promised to pay the seller for the property. So now when you do this, you can even do a double closing, as I explained yesterday, on a seller financing deal where the down payment pays the seller the money, pays the closing costs. So you now bought and sold the property in the same day without using any of your own money. And now you're getting $400, $500 in cash flow from that deal without having used any of your own money. Who thinks that is cool? Now, here's the thing, from a power lever to sell these properties quicker. Is the property going to sell quicker if you want $30,000 for it? Or is it going to sell quicker if you get it, if you can sell it with a $4,000 down payment and $400 a month, right? Who thinks you can sell it quicker if you get a $4,000 down payment and $400 a month? So obviously, right? Seller financing opens your market because there's 100 times more people out there that have $4,000 and the ability to make $400 a month than there are people who have $30,000 in cash, right? So therefore, you can sell seller financing deals all day long and really expand and accelerate your profits. Now, here's something that I want to tell you about seller financing. Right, that is really, really important that I think we have not talked about yet. So pay real close attention. When you sell deals with seller financing, not only do you sell them quicker, but you're also making 3 or 4 times the money than when you do a cash deal.
And Jeanette can tell us about that.
Right. So Jeanette, when we bring her on in a little bit, well, she can tell us about that. Because here's the thing: like when you sell this property, if that property is worth $30,000. You can sell this property. You get in a contract for $3,000. you're probably going to wholesale it for $15,000. So you're making, after closing costs, about a $11,000 profit. Everyone okay with 11 grand? Sure, right? No, totally fine, right? And at the beginning, that's probably what a lot of us want to do in order to get that cash in, so you can pay off that, you have your RI
And you
and
need
those
those
kind of
cash
things.
injections
You
in the
need cash
beginning, like,
injections,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
And that's what we started. The first probably 15 deals, we did cash wholesale. But then we realized that we're leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table by not doing seller financing. And then we started doing seller financing. Because if you sell that same deal for $30,000 with a $4,000 down payment, you now created a $26,000 note, right? Follow me so far, right? So they still owe you $26,000, and they're making the they're paying the $26,000 off, $400 a month over the next 8 years, let's say, right? So over 8 years, you're receiving $400 a month. Now, how much is that? Let me bring you quick my calendar up. Like $400 times 12 is $4,800 a year, times 8. $4,800 a year times 8 is $38,400. So where your profit is not $11,000 in that scenario, but it is $38,400, because on top of the $26,000, the people that your buyers pay you interest.
Yeah.
And the interest in this scenario adds up another $12,400 in interest. So you not only are you making in the wholesale deal, you would have made $11,000. In the seller financing deal, you're making $38,400 on that deal. That is 3.5 times more money than you would make on the other one. Plus, Pat says servicing fees too. Yes, if you service that loan yourself, you can charge an extra $20 in loan servicing fee every single month. That adds another $240 a year. That adds another $2,000. So now you're at $40,000 that you made in that deal over the course of the 8 years.
And if you found yourself in a cash crunch, you can always sell the note as well.
Exactly. You can
This
sell
is
the
an
note.
asset. Yeah.
The note, the $26,000 that they owe you is actually an asset that you own. So you do 10, 20, you do 40 deals like that, you're sitting on $1 million worth of notes. If now, who wants that $1 million home, right? You do 50 deals like that, you're sitting on $1.2 million, $1.3 million in notes. You go sell those notes for $1 million, you're sitting on $1 million. You go buy with that, you now buy your dream home, or you roll that into a big apartment complex. And this is how you generate generational wealth, guys. Land flipping is not just taking a deal at 20 cents on the dollar and flipping it. Land flipping is your entry portal, guys, to generational wealth, to a completely different lifestyle, to you being the guy that retires with millions and millions, or the lady, millions and millions of dollars in assets that you can borrow against, that you can turn into other things. That is a completely different mindset. Thank you, Stephen. Yes, it's your catalyst. You can literally, who wants to be a millionaire in the next 2 years? Seller financing will make you a millionaire in the next 2 years if you just do those steps. Yeah. And if you're following, if you play full out, if you get all the advice that you need, if you tap into our support system, and if you make it happen. Right.
I actually would love to bring Jeanette. Jeanette, are you here?
Yeah. Jeanette, let's highlight Jeanette.
I'm here.
Hey, Jeanette, how are you? Nice to have you here with us. Thank you so much for, making room in your busy land flipping schedule, because I know you're a busy lady. You just closed on your 34th deal. And tell us, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about.
In how much time have you done 34 deals?
So it was July 6th of last year that I have started to be full-time on my business, quit my corporate job, and went in full steam ahead doing land flipping 100% of the time, but not 100% of my time, but with the flexibility, getting this business up and running. So that was since July 6th.
Yeah, and I remember you mentioning, to me, Jeanette, that you basically had nothing. You had not a single deal. You had nothing when you started, and you gave yourself a year to really go all in and put the pedal to the metal. And tell us, approximately how much in profits from cash deals and how much in profits actually from term deals, which is what Jack was
Seller
just
financing,
describing.
that's just describing it.
Yeah, so like Michelle said, I was all in. Literally, I didn't have a sale. I hadn't closed one deal and I went all in. Knew in my heart and knew in my head I was going to be successful. I had a great drive throughout my career, but I've only had a career with a paycheck. I have never had my own business. So this was very different. And also did get a coach through this system because I knew that more than anything, if I would do it, I definitely would end up doing it at some point in time, but I would have to spend a heck of a lot of time fumbling through it. There's awesome resources out there and people definitely can do it on their own. For me, I wanted the recipe and I wanted it quick. And that's what my coach provided me. Obviously, we can all make something that's really difficult and bake something that's really difficult. But if you had the recipe in front of you, it would be that much easier and that much quicker and that much better.
Right.
So that's what I decided to do. So from July 6th, I just closed on my 34th deal. I do have seller finance deals upwards of $250,000, giving me some financial security every month of about $4,400. So it's completely passive income. That was my number one goal throughout this, because going from a paycheck that I was getting every 2 weeks and then not getting anything, my ultimate goal would be to still get a paycheck that I wouldn't necessarily work for. So that was my ultimate goal, to get financial security in a year's time. And I was able to secure that. So I did primarily seller finance deals this year. I marketed it for it, and that's what I did. And that's what I became very successful at.
But you also understand have about $200,000 in cash profits, right?
Yes, yeah. And in addition to that, I've have close to like 167,000 in cash deals, in addition to the seller finance deals. But my primary goal obviously was seller financing. I probably, if I continued to market that way, could have done more cash deals. But for me, it was more profitable, better passive income, and to go seller finance way, and that's what I promoted.
Hey, and on top of it, it doesn't hurt your bank account to have an additional $167,000 worth of cash, right?
Yeah, and then I just use that to continue my seller finance deal. So it all works. My ultimate goal is to get $100,000 a year in seller finance deals alone. So that's my ultimate goal, and I know I'll meet that goal. But right now, I do have financial security. It's able to pay for my personal budget, and with that money that comes in every month.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. And now, Jeanette, what were you doing prior to land flipping? Like what?
Yeah.
was
So
your work?
absolutely, yeah, nothing in real estate. In my life, I never touched real estate. I had no idea about any of these terms. I actually started my career as a special ed teacher. I worked my way up. I became a school principal. I then became a retail manager. And you would think, oh, well, Jeanette, those are great careers. And they are for many people, for sure. But it's like, for me, number one priority for me is my flexible time and my work-life balance. Absolutely a priority, and that I wasn't getting at all. In other words, I was getting high stress, high work hours, high accountability 100% of the time. And it really affected me, and it affected my family, and it affected my livelihood, until I took this on and really saw what that money can be there, and you not have to work crazy amount of hours for it, that you not have the pressure that a corporate job sustains on you, that I felt shackled all the time. I can go on and on about
Yeah.
events that I
So
missed in
let me
my
just,
family.
over the last 4 days, I have made the case and I have explained to people that this business truly is designed around your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Can you confirm a couple of these things, or can you speak to a couple of things? Like, do you jump when the seller calls, right? Do you jump like in hoops like the house flippers do and go run meet with that seller, right? Do you go, how many times a week do you make offers, right? Things like that.
I mean, I've sustained a schedule that allows me a ton of flexibility in my life. With my kids now, my older kid going off to college, my younger kid still in high school. But of course, there's a work schedule that you have to sustain, no doubt. I mean, there's things that you have to do in this business that you have to be consistent with, and it's important that you sustain that. But there's so much flexibility around that. I definitely don't work near around the amount of hours that I was working. And it's just a totally different livelihood.
Guys,
So
and
that
this is what's waiting for you guys on the inside, you know, of the Land Profit Masters coaching program is having the ability to have a day like Jeanette's days look now, where she has the freedom to not miss out possibly on a game from her son, you know, or activities that she wants to do with her family, where she's not bound to, like, you know, punching the clock at 9 and out at 5 and so on and so forth. This is what's waiting for you on the inside, but you have to be unstoppable. You know, you have to have this character of an unstoppable person that is basically all in, that leans into coaching. Because let me be clear, like, the results and the stories of incredible success and the dollar amounts that you hear, you know, and that you're going to continue hearing during the course of this week, you know, from everyday people, they don't happen without coaching.
Right.
They invariably happen because they're inside of this community, basically, where there's people at the top of their game, you know, in a particular deal scenario, walking them exactly through the steps to make sure that the deal closes.
Absolutely, yeah. So also, I want to quickly address a couple of questions that came up with, or it's about seller financing, where somebody says you got to be careful about it. What if the seller doesn't? What if the buyer doesn't pay? Guys, you need to change your mindset here. Think about this. We are not talking about you buying a $300,000 house and then seller financing it with a $20,000 down payment. You're still out $280,000. We're talking about a deal that you're buying a $50,000 property for $8,000 and selling it with a $10,000 down payment. You have no money in the deal. You're selling this thing now for $50,000, or perhaps you give them a little discount. You sell it for $40,000. You have now a $30,000 loan that they're making payments on. If they stop making payments, your cash flow goes on that note from plus 500 to zero. Then you foreclose on the guy. Yes, that might cost you $500 or $1,000, depending on which state it is in or which documents you use. We coach our students actually on using documents that allow you to foreclose in a matter of like 30 or 60 days. If you want to, we are not in favor of foreclosing that quickly, but I'd say after 90 days, you foreclose on them for $50, for $30. And then guess what you do? Now you own the property again, free and clear, because you had no money in the deal, right? And then you go around and sell it again and you get another $10,000 down payment, or another $3,000 or $5,000 down payment. So there is no risk, guys. You got to shift your mindset from the house flipping, where somebody destroys your house and generates $20,000 in damages, and now you have to fix the house, and you have to now go and still pay the mortgage while you fix the house, and all this kind of things. It is just a completely different ball game. We're talking about pure cash flow with no money or very little or no money in the deal, that if they do stop making payments, then you foreclose on them and you resell them. Financially speaking, a foreclosure is the best thing that could happen to you from these guys, right? Yeah. Now, we're not in favor of it. We want our buyers to fulfill their dream of property ownership, right? We want them to fulfill their American dream. So we're going to work with them. We're going to modify loans if they stop making payments. We're going to adjust their payments. We're going to call them and say, like, hey, what's going on? Do you not want the property anymore? Or are you just having a hard time making payments? They have time making payments. You can restructure the loan because you are the bank now, guys. You can do those things like the banks do with with the struggling with the people who struggle to pay the bank, right? You are the bank. Who would like to finally not pay the bank, but be the bank, guys? Give me a heck yes on that, right,
Yeah.
guys? That's really what we're talking about here. So
now I just want to ask Jeanette, because Jeanette is a former dean of a university. And what kind of PhD do you now have, Jeanette?
This is from you, Michelle. So I said, I do have my PhD in education, and she said, now you have a PhD in money making. So I have a, DMM, doctor in money making.
there we go. DMM, I like that. I need to put that behind my signature from now on. DMM, doctor in money making. Love that. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jeanette.
And Jeanette, just to confirm, you are in our coaching program. All of this happened in the year that you're in the coaching, right?
Yes, 100%.
All right, wonderful.
If somebody's here, feeling the butterflies, what would you say to them about leaning into coaching? Because every single one of these people here is here for a reason. There's no coincidence.
Yeah, so, it worked for me. I think Jack said it best when he said, I am you and you are me. I am you guys. I am you guys 1 year later. So this is how it could look for you 1 year from now. So just think about that. I definitely incorporated the use of a coach to guide me through, to provide me the accountability, to provide me the resource, to provide me the continuous motivation. But this is absolutely who you can be 1 year from now.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you so much, Jeanette.
All right, guys, we have a bunch more. Was that cool or what? Give Jeanette a round of applause here, guys. Virtual applause or whichever way you want to do that in the chat box. So woohoo or something like that. Yes. There we go.
Yes.
Great. So again, let me summarize the number one just quickly. Number one is pre-marketing plan. Number two is multiple results to buyers lists. Number three is optimizing the use of a CRM system. Number four is the quality of your power listing, which we're going to go into in just about 15 minutes one more time, right, in much more detail. Number five is selling in terms. And then number six is tracking what matters. And that we're going to have an extra session on that with our
panel of coaches
tomorrow, while we actually share screens and show exactly how you can track what matters, how you can track the cost of the mailings, the results of the mailings, the response rates, acceptance rates, so you profits, all these different things,
so that you can eventually start moving only into the areas that are yielding the highest and most profitable deals for you, so that you don't waste your marketing dollars sending campaigns to the wrong areas for no reason. Some of them might have a low response rate, but you're going to find that you're going to have your highest price range deals on those. So there's going to be a little bit of art, and there's going to be a lot of science for sure tomorrow.
Absolutely, a lot of science for those left brain guys that want to know how you can make that a true science. Tomorrow is another day for you. All right, so now,
and actually everyone inside of our Land Profit Masters coaching program gets in a session with Mr. Mike Smyer on a small group to teach you basically on how to set up all of this for your business,
all of these tracking mechanisms,
all of these metrics for your business.
So with that said, let's go into question number two. How will you market your properties, right? Well, here's the best part about that. The properties are being marketed in usually about 3 or 4 ways. The first way is using free websites out there. Free websites. Now, websites like, and we actually have a question comes number 5. So I'm gonna actually pull number 5 into number 2 right now. So you can fast forward to number 5 and fill it out already. What are some of the free websites that we use? We use Zillow.com. Zillow is available to everyone to put properties up there. You can put your own properties up there. You can put properties under contract up there because you have the right to market the property, right? You don't have to own the properties and be able to put them up there. Now, number 2, your buyers list. We already talked about that again, right? Selling to your buyers list. Number 3, you can use your own website again, right? Our CRM system is your own website. You put it on your own website. You drive traffic to your own website. And you can do it that way.
One of our master coaches actually just taught one of her lessons was on how to basically use paid advertisement to get more visitors to your website.
Absolutely
I think
right.
it happened this week, or I can't remember.
Yeah, in the last couple of weeks, there was
Right.
a dedicated session for our coaching students on just that, on how to really turbo boost that part and how to get more people to your website. And then lastly, also a hidden way that we teach that is huge success in our coaching community is to actually sell to the people in the neighborhood of that lot, right? If that lot sits there and there's other lots around and there's other people living there or their owners around there, many times they're looking to add more lots to them. So you can actually go to the neighbors. And for example, one of our master coaches, Courtney,
Yeah.
right now, she's still working
Yesterday,
on a deal right
just-
now.
Actually, yesterday she closed on a deal where she made $150,000 with a neighbor letter. And then it's not- and then-
$150,000.
And it's not just a neighbor letter, but it's kind of like a neighbor letter package on
Package.
steroids.
Right. She has really mastered that. And now she's teaching in part of our coaching community. She's teaching all our coaching students how the mastery package that she has come up with that allows her to sell about
Erin has a
40%,
good one too.
40% of her properties to the neighbors without even having to create a big listing, without having to put it out there in the market, without having to go monitor it for on a daily basis, just by contacting the neighborhood around them, right? And boom, made $150,000. How many $150,000 deals do you need to make here a year in order to be happy with your lifestyle, right? Put it in the chat box. How many 150K deals do you need, right? So that's the thing here. So these are some of the deals that you do. Also, Paul, one of our coaching students, he has Paul Young. He uses his buyers list tremendously, and last time I checked, he had sold, like in a short period of time, he had sold 19 of his last 20 something deals. He sold to his own buyers list. So all of these things we teach you to bring together. And at this point, I would actually like to let you guys know that. But for those of you who've been with us for the last 4 days already, and have seen the power of this system, you understand that what you need to be, we can go into point number 3. What you need to be really building this multiple six-figure business. Who wants a multiple six-figure business, guys? Let me know. Give me another heck yes here. Yeah, I know I'm asking you to type a lot, but hey, we're also speaking a lot. So give me another heck yes here if you want that. So you need the superior strategy, which is our land profit strategies, right? So it's our land profit strategy. You also need a superior approach, right? A superior approach supported by the masters of this business. People like Jeanette that have do deals 30 to 300 deals a year, right? So
it doesn't happen by accident. It's because she is with someone and coaching with someone that is at the top of the game, and that is part of the top 1% of all land flippers in the country, not just in our community, but in the country.
And not just works with one coach. I mean, she has her primary coach, but has access to all our coaches that take turns 5 days a week, teaching you all the mastery pieces that they and we have created together in the land flipping game. We have created the master's program, but they have created even in an additional kind of tweaks to the program.
Every single one of them has their superpower and their own genius, you know, and you have access now to everyone's genius, you know, inside of the coaching program.
Right. Who wants access to all these geniuses on there, guys? Who wants access? Let me know. Give me a heck yes here, and so on. So yes, so they're sharing from their heart every single day of the week, from Monday to Friday, in dedicated group sessions, how that works. But then on top of it, you have one-on-one sessions with your dedicated master coach that is paired with you based on a certain personality profile, based on what your goals are, right? If you want to do $1 million in a year, we'll pair you with one of our coaches that is already doing that, right? If you want to do more seller financing deals, we'll pair you with a coach that specializes on that. If you want to do only $100,000 plus deals, we pair you with a coach that focuses on the $100,000 plus deals.
If you want to develop land.
If you want to develop land, we pair you with a coach that is actually developing land right now, right? So we have it covered.
Commercial property. If commercial property is your jam, you know, within land, we have that. All that expertise is inside of our community.
If you want to use realtors realtors to sell your land. We have coaches that use realtors mostly to sell a land and have perfected that kind of thing. So many options. Well, here's the thing: you don't need to choose. What the way it works is when you come on board with us, then we will actually have you fill out the questionnaire, have you fill out the personality profile, have you do a test, everything, so we can see where you want to go, what is the best fit for you, because we have brought hundreds and hundreds of students to massive success,
And you know what,
therefore
when
we
we-
know how to get you to success.
And when we originally see your goals in that intake, you know, and by the way, it is by application only. You
Right.
need to self-select. You need to have a pre-interview, and we're going to tell you, you know, whether you're a good fit or not, or we're going to refer to you to other programs, you know. But either way, if you want to schedule an interview, a call with us, you can go to landcoaching.com and schedule, and we're going to tell you, and it's going to be a win-win either way. And if you're feeling butterflies right now in your stomach, you know, that is an indication, that is a sign that you should definitely, you know, book a call. And like I said, it's going to be a win-win either way to discuss on the phone whether this is a fit for you, whether this is the opportunity that you're looking for. And I know that this is the outcome that you're looking for. And it's just a matter of you leaning in, self-selecting, you know, and really going and not being scared to dream big, not being scared for that freedom of money, time, relationships, purpose. We all deserve it. And I want that for you, for sure. Now, you know, I also wanted
And
to
yes, the link that was posted by the team right now is legit. So yes, yesterday there was a couple of people posting weird links and things like that. And so those were not, but this link that our team right now posted is legit. So go click on landcoaching.com and talk to us, because this is by invitation only. We only have 34 spots. And even though yesterday wasn't even available yet, 5 people already already skipped the line, and 5 people already grabbed the spot just yesterday. So so this is going to sell out very, very quickly, because there have been over the course of the week over 2,000 people participating at this group. Only 34 spots are available, and they're going to fly off the shelf. So what I want to do right now is I want to extend an invitation to you guys to come on board with us.
Yeah.
Right? Go to landcoaching.com. Talk to our team, see if it's an application to see if this is a fit for you, right? But I know that if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're being sick and tired of the stagnation that you might be experiencing in your life, if you're sick and tired of the internal pain of being perhaps comfortably miserable, right? Of you being perhaps having a high income but dying inside, then this is what you need to do. We have one of our students, he's a high-powered attorney, right? Making multiple 6 figures a year. And he literally told us with tears in his eyes that now this year he made $270,000 in coaching from this business. And he's about to quit his attorney job. He's a partner in a law firm. He said he's about to quit his job and go full time. He says, like, if I would keep my attorney job for 6 more years, 6 more years, he said, I think I would be dead. I would be dead. This is literally killing me inside. And this has been the gift from God to find this program, to do this thing, have produced $270,000 in the first year. And now part-time while having a high-powered attorney job. And now he's going full-time. And you can imagine what that does. If you go full-time and you put that same effort, that same dedication that he put on his attorney job in there, there's no way he's not going to make $1 million in the next year doing this business. That same future is waiting for you guys. What you need to do is you need to trust yourself. What you need to do is you need to believe in yourself. What you need to do is you need to see that this is ready for you. That is not a coincidence why you're here. This is not just something that you stumbled into and is like a nice to have thing. If you're ready to change the trajectory of your life, we are ready to be here with you. So with that said, I would like to quickly go to the components, or would you like to add something before we do that?
Go ahead.
The components of coaching consist of the following thing. A few we already mentioned. So number one, it consists of one-on-one coaching with our master coaches, which again are full-time land flippers. Also, actually, as a matter of fact, I believe 100% of all our master coaches, we have 20 coaches, have gone through our coaching program themselves. So they're the product of our own coaching program, have excelled in the program, and now coming back and volunteering their time. Of course, we pay them for it, but volunteering their time to change your life, just like their life was changed in the process of going through coaching, right? So you get one-on-one coaching sessions with them.
So you don't get just the people that are at the top of the game, but on top of it are these amazing human beings with an amazing heart, because they don't have to coach, but they want to do it. They want to do it because they want to give and have basically that privilege and honor of just like someone that believed in them and coached them through all the ins and outs, through the landmines, you know, and they want to be able to offer that same service. They really, you won't find people that care more than the people on this team. They're going all animal on you, surrounding you with support 360 degrees. They're there for you in their network. If you need a transactional funder, if you need a loan, if you anything that you need is inside of that network, you know, of our coaches.
Yeah, literally right now our coaches are funding multiple transactional funding deals. They're working with students, and that's actually, and they're not getting a piece of the deal, guys. This is not some strategy where we get a piece of your deals. It's just when a student truly needs transactional funding, they can tap into the community, into the trusted community where they know they're not being screwed, where they know they're being treated fairly, where they know they're getting a fair financial deal on there. And then they have team members of our own team do the transactional funding for them if necessary, right? Plus, on top of it, what we have, as I already mentioned, there's group coaching sessions that happen every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 times a week. There's group coaching sessions, again, hosted by our master coaches, where 1 day a week it's all about buying, 1 day a week it's all about selling, 1 day a week it's all about scaling, 2 times a week it's open Q&A, but each of the other 3 sessions also have Q&A sessions. So what that really means is that any day of the week when you have a question, you do not have to wait until your next scheduled coaching call with your master coach. You just jump on that session, you learn something, and you ask your question. You get your question answered right there and then. How cool is that? Nobody in the industry offers that level of support and accountability and 360 support, right?
And you know why? And you know why nobody does, and nobody gives access to, you know, because the level of access that we have to our master coaches is unprecedented. The reason why nobody does is because at the end of the day, it's expensive, you know, it's expensive. And that's why you're not going to find any other coaching program out there that has this level of support, that has a full-time accountability coaches there to support you as well, you know, that are doing this. So we're not a, you know,
it's expensive to us,
a 2-person show, but we know that in order for our reputation to precede us, we know that in order to be the #1 incubator, to be the Harvard of land flipping, that we need to not just have an opinion about what the solution is for the marketplace, but actually bring the solution to the marketplace. And that's why we bring the coaching program in the format that we bring it, and in the way that we deliver it.
And when Michelle means that it's expensive, what it means that most people out there offer the least and charge the most, right? Isn't that the reality out there? Most people charge the most and offer the least. Well, our program is not inexpensive. Our program is actually is for serious investors, right? For serious people that want to change their life. It's the premier program in the industry, but we funnel we really invest that into the program, right? Yeah. We invest that. We pay our coaches really, really well to produce these, to go on there and be on these sessions and be there 5 times a week. I'll do these one-on-one sessions. And on top of it, that's not even all of it. It's actually something additional. Like we actually have 15 full-time accountability partners. 15 full-time accountability partners in our company that are on salary, that get bonuses when you succeed and so on. And so you're going to get, for the full year that you work with us, you get a 101 accountability partner paired with you that you have access to every day of the week. So any question that you have, you can send to them. Now, their role is to help you through 2 hurdles. Their role is to be an accountability partner. Their role is to check in with you, because if you go silent on us, guess what do other people, other coaching companies do? Like, the less they hear from their coaching students, the better, because that's what they do, because then there's less things they need to do. No, guys, that's not the way to get you to success. The way to get to success is that if we don't hear from you, we're going to knock on your virtual door.
Sorry.
So we're going to call you. We're gonna connect with you, right? Their role is to be there for you and make sure that any hurdle you get to is being overcome. They look at your problem and say, okay, this warrants a call with your one-on-one coach. This warrants a call with a specialty coach. This is a question I can answer. This is a question you should look at the video of this video for. There are your accountability coach, your accountability partner that helps you to get through every single hurdle, right? And so nobody in the industry has that. Nobody in the industry has that to the degree that we have it, because each of our accountability coaches does not have 100 students. They have a small amount of students that they can give you for their full attention, guys.
Yeah.
They can give you the full attention. That is unheard of in the industry. Now, on top of it, we talked about the CRM system and the technology platform. Guess what? You get access to that for the full year completely free, right? And then even there, a few weeks into the program, we give you, we put you into a 2-day intensive hands-on training program where you learn all this software from A to Z, so you completely master it. But not only that, I forgot the biggest part right now. Not the biggest part. One of the most important part is that right when you get started, within a week or two from you getting started, right there, once your onboarding is done, we'll put you into, you start out with a 6-week quick start intensive program. Now, that's not real estate 101. That's taking beginners as well as advanced students, literally from zero all the way to you having letters out to selecting counties, getting lists, sending letters out, making offers, getting listings done, all in the first 6 weeks. So we completely ramp you up in the first 6 weeks, and that's where people like Brandon, people Brandon George, people like
get a deal in their first 6 weeks.
Like Donna and Richard Philly got their deal, like Max Fulmer and many others got their first deal already in the first 6 weeks, because we're going to put you on a schedule. We're going to put you on a training program for 6 weeks in there. And then after the 6 weeks, you start your one-on-one sessions with your master coach. After 6 weeks, but all along you're with your accountability coach. It's basically support, it's accountability, it's training, it's resources. We check in on you. It's all of these things that we literally put out the plan. We put out to say, like, okay, from here to here is the path of a successful student. Where could the student potentially fail? And wherever there is a potential failure point, we put an intervention point to make sure you do not fail and you succeed, right? And in order to, this is our 1-year program. Now so for that, what we want you to do is book a call on landcoaching.com to see if this is a fit for you. Now, we have a couple of options. We have options with more one-on-ones, with less one-on-ones, right? So therefore there's different price points. Also, if our team determines that this is not the right fit for you, there's a couple of other options. So instead of me just rambling off a whole bunch of different prices and values and things like that, just book a call and talk to our team to see if you're the right fit,
and interview
and
with
if this
them
is the right
and
fit.
apply.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you're doing the work right now and the money is not matching up, to the work that you're doing, it's time to finally, put an end to that and to have a new beginning, to be on a new trajectory, to really kind of like, draw a line in the sand and say, okay, this is the end of the struggle, of the hustle, and this is a new beginning now, a change in my family tree forever. You're right now at a crossroads. Don't treat this moment like it is not a monumental time. It is a monumental time right now, and you deserve to invest in yourself, right, to bank in yourself and go all in.
At that point, I also forgot to mention there's actually a few quick start bonuses. So for those who are ready, who is ready to go on this, put in like I'm in. Put in the chat box right now, I'm in. Again, talk to our team, right? The cost is not insignificant, the investment, but here's the thing.
Cindy's in, Sylvia's in. Woohoo! Welcome, guys. And you know what? To the 5 others that have already joined us, that have already committed, I just want to extend my thank you, congratulate you, and really thank you for your trust. We don't take that lightly. We're here to basically support you and
I love what John Allen says. I'm already in and I'm loving it. Wonderful.
Awesome. Welcome on board, John.
Surprisingly.
And yeah, so don't delay, don't procrastinate. If you have that butterfly feeling, there's a reason for it. If you know in your heart of hearts that you're meant to be here, that you have found your people, I know we are your people. That's why you're here. I know that we are your people.
Also, so there's a few bonuses, guys. So yes, I love all the I'm in. So make sure you all go right now, open a second browser and go and book yourself a call. I think we already got 26 calls booked yesterday without even giving out the link. So you can tell that the 34 spots are going to go away like this.
Yeah.
So make sure you book a call right now, go to landcoaching.com, fill it out, and our team is ready. But also for those who come on board today, there's also going to be some special bonuses. So first of all, if you come on board today and pay in full, you're going to get a $3,000 discount off our program, $3,000 discount program. And then also for the first 3 people to enroll today. Now I'm going to do that in addition to the 5 that already enrolled yesterday. But the 3 people that enroll today, the first 3 people are going to get, well, everyone that enrolls today is going to get an additional 2 101 coaching sessions, either with myself or with our master coach, right? If I'm not available, then it's our master coach, Mike, who you met on Tuesday, right?
And
Who does
he's coming
100
back tomorrow.
and he's coming back tomorrow, and he's doing 100 deals a year. So for everyone that purchases this program and enrolls today, right, you get 2 extra 101 coaching sessions, either with myself, right? And literally, I don't even accept 101 coaching students anymore. And if I do, like I charge 6 figures to work with me, right? I charge 6 figures to work with me. So you get 2 coaching sessions, either with myself or with our master coach, Mike Smyer. And for the first 3 people that come on board, for the true action takers that jump on this right now, for the first 3 people that jump on board today, you get a 3rd 101 coaching call with myself, right? With myself or our head coach, Mike Smyer.
And our 5 other people that have already joined, you have it too. So
you have that already, so you're good. So then on top of it, everyone that joins today also gets a county selection deep dive session. So I am going to personally go. Remember how important the county selection is. You guys, the link to join is landcoaching.com, Natasha. Go there and register for a call. It's an interview only. So it's an interview based only thing. It's you can't just join. We need to make sure that you're the right fit for us, and that you really understand everything that it entails.
That you're coachable, that you're a person that is willing to make decisions, that you're an implementer, that you actually execute on the things. Because every single one of these guys, you know, and ladies that have come, like Jeanette, she hasn't questioned her coach. Her coach told her, go do this. And she went and did exactly that. And she has the results to show it. Right. So we need to make sure that we're a fit for each other.
Exactly right. So you get that. So for those who get us in today, they also get, you remember how important was that first step of getting the counties right. If you get those right, then everything falls into place. If you get those wrong, you're gonna pay for it. You're gonna just stumble around forever. And I always say, people, guys, you're going to pay for coaching one way or the other anyway. You're either going to pay for it by making mistakes and stumbling and wasting time and wasting money on counties that you shouldn't go after, right? And making the wrong offers and deals falling apart and you missing out on $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 profits because you don't know what you're doing. You don't have the guidance.
And the sellers can smell that, and the buyers can smell that.
Or you go into coaching and you get guided through all of that, accelerate time collapse, get everything done in a faster way, just like Jeanette understood. She said, hey, can I figure this out? Yeah, I can figure this out. It's gonna take me some time to figure it out. But hey, if you don't, but she opted for getting it done, and guess now, she has $267,000 in the bank, $250,000 in extra in cash in notes that she could sell for another $200,000 in cash, and she would literally have $260,000 in cash in the bank. Anyone good having $360,000 in the first year in the bank, guys? Would everyone be fine with that? I would think so, right? Yeah. I would think so, guys. So, yeah, so I'm going to do a deep dive session with a small group on just that, on how to select those counties. So you're going to be taught that anyway in the 6-week quick start intensive session. You can always work with your accountability coach on honing on that. But I personally will do another session for that. But you got to come on board today in order to do that. We're also going to have a session with Aaron about how to communicate effectively with the buyers and sellers. And again, the tracking what matters deep dive, where you get the copy of the sheet that we share with you tomorrow. All of this is if you take action today.
And I want to congratulate right now John Bardeen, because John, you will actually get a partial tuition credit towards this program.
That's our scholarship.
That is our scholarship. So the winner of the scholarship is Mr. John Bardeen.
And he's getting a $7,500
Tuition
tuition
credit.
credit towards any of our programs.
Yeah, so
Congratulations, John.
congratulations, John.
Your story really touched us. We saw also how you posted in all the homework. So John, congratulations, John.
Yeah, and you know, again, I want to reiterate this, that success is not a natural process, that our lizard brain actually is trying to keep us to conserve energy, is trying to protect us, is trying to make us be comfortable, is trying to make us blend in. But you were not born to blend in, and you know it in your heart of hearts that you were not here on this earth to blend in. You came here to really you know, to shine, and we're here to activate that shine on you, not just on you, but on your bank account and on your family's, you know, bank account, and on the way they conduct themselves, and on the way they show up in the world, and in the way that you conduct business within the real estate industry as well. Because that's part of the legacy. It's not you hustling over there doing a transaction, but how are you making even the industry better? You know, that's part of our legacy. Treating people with respect, with integrity, you know, where you hold yourself accountable to a high level of excellence, of integrity, and how you treat everyone, your partners. That's part of the legacy of making a difference inside of the real estate industry as well.
Absolutely right. So guys, you're not the only ones. The ones that we mentioned are not the only ones that are successful. I got pages and pages and pages of successful
Maybe we can
students
read
here.
out just a few.
So we have, for example, we mentioned Brandon George already. 6 weeks, he's done $29,000. In a few months, he's done $76,000. Plus, he has 48 more deals under contract, adding hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits. That's so his outlook for the first, I think, for the first 12 months was something like, I think, $800,000 to $1 million. Anyone is okay with doing $1 million in your first year? Right? Absolutely, right? Bob and Beth Probst, we talked about them already. $92,000 with an 80 single with a grouping of 80 single family home lots. Heck, if you come across 80 single family home lots, would you know what to do? Would you know what to do? Chances are probably not, right? Guess what? Because we have coaches in our system that have done deals like that with 20, 30, 50, or 150 kind of deals in one transaction. We just plugged it into our coaches network chat group, and there's like, here's what you do, boom, 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 boom. That advice was given to them, and they was transmitted over to the coaching students, and they were exactly, the documents were given over to them, and they were going boom, and they made $92,000 in that deal. Plus, even one coach helped fund the deal, helped transactional fund the deal. It was a true teamwork. Like, that is the kind of deals that if you run around on your own, that is like a couple of times or multiple times already, and then ROI just on that deal right there. Now, without the coaching, they could have never done that deal. Without coaching, you would have been potentially never been able to do that
Iris
deal. Right?
Aponte, she's a broker, you know, no longer working for a commission as a realtor. She, on her first deal, $122,000.
Lorraine Castro right now did her first lease purchase deal. It's a seller financing deal using a different kind of document that allows you to foreclose very, very quickly if necessary. Donna and Richard Philly, $100K in the first 6 months. Now they just took a 3-week trip to Greece and Paris. When a year ago, when Donna lost her job in the middle of the pandemic, they were making emergency plans to postpone their retirement for several years. Now, guess what? They're accelerating their retirement, and they're doing a 3-week trips. They just finished a 3-week trip to Europe, right? Ellie Correa, you heard of her yesterday, 300K deal in the works. Leo Zoll from Germany is 120 deals in his first year doing coaching. From Germany, right? He did his first few deals, and it's like, okay, done. And then he doubled up, tripled up, and he accelerated the process to mastery, because the timeline, guys, and then we still have to show you exactly how to create a listing, so stay with us. The timeline explains is really, again, goes along what we talked about yesterday. We have our coaching program really has multiple phases. So in phase 1, what you do is you set up your systems, you get going. Is that 6-week quick start intensive? We get you to that first deal, right? We get you to that first deal. So So
But you need to work. Again, it
of
doesn't
course.
happen through osmosis.
Like if you drag your feet, it's going to take you more than 6 weeks, of course, right?
Yeah.
But if you do the step, you put the pedal to the metal, and you do what we ask you to do, right? Then it's very likely and very possible that you have your first deal in the first 6 to 8 weeks, right? And then like Josiah, for example, in the first 6 weeks, he did $39,000, right? There we go, full ROI on his investment already in 6 weeks, guys. And since then, he's done multiple six figures, right?
Can I ask Jeanette? Is Jeanette still here?
Yeah.
Jeanette, and how many deals did you see ROI on your investment?
So to pay off the coaching, it took me, well, I got my first deal after 3 months. And
took a little
then
longer.
the call, obviously, once you kickstart, it really adds to your deals. And I was able to pay off the coaching in about 5 months' time. And then from there on, it was all profit. And then you just multiply your deals. For me, it was getting all my processes in place that took time. And then once that was there, then, you know, obviously the deals start coming in once the processes are in place.
Absolutely right.
So it's different for everyone, guys. It's scale that is the right size and the right fit for you. You know, if you're like Leo Zoll from Germany, I mean, Leo had his ROI, Josiah has his ROI, Brandon his ROI in weeks. It depends on what you're bringing to the table as far as past experience, your ability to scale quickly. But we are here to walk you through that, even if you don't have prior experience.
Exactly right. So the first phase, it's all about getting to your first deal, right? And then ROI means return on investment, right? Getting your money back, getting your investment back. And Albert, and by the way, no, Edgar is saying like, yes, we do have payment options. So even if we can spread the payments over about 6 months or so.
We do have a pay in full.
The bonus is the $3,000 off is if you can pay this in full. If you
And
can pay
guys,
this in full, you get $3,000.
and those go away. If you have
Yes.
attended a masterclass before, you know that those go away. So today is a day, today is a moment to, you know, today is a day of opportunity. Let's go. We could already by next week, this day, you know, you could already be onboarded. You could already be on the next, you know, on the next cohort of the next 6 quick start intensive starting.
Right.
So
by the end of this month, you can have in a couple of weeks, you can have your letters out already. You can have your first phone calls coming in already. You can have the first offers made already in about 3-4 weeks. You can have your first by middle of September. You can have your first deal potentially under contract. This is not unheard of. This is not unusual. You can does everyone do it? No. Some people drag their feet a little bit or take a little longer, but you can absolutely have that in place already. So make sure, Marco, if your call is not until tomorrow, please reach out to your concierge. Perhaps you can schedule the call still for today, right? Perhaps you can accelerate the call on there, right? So again, so you sign up today by going to, you cannot sign up for this program just directly. You need to talk to one of our team members because it's a two-way street. We need to make sure that you're the right person. If you come in with all full of ego, it's like, I know how to do this thing, you might not be the right fit. If you're not coachable, if you're not trainable, if you're not willing to listen to us and our team who has done thousands of deals, then you're not the right fit for us, right? But if you're willing to learn, this is not about the money, guys. Michelle and I own over 1,000 apartment units, right? We own fully and partially over 1,000 apartment units. We have cash flow coming in from all over different angles, right? We have done over 4,000 deals. We have cash flow from land, we have from apartment complexes, we have from all kinds of different things. We are financially set for our lifetime and for our daughter's lifetime. We're doing this. You coming on board for coaching does not make an inch of difference in our life, but it will in yours, guys. It will in yours, guys. And so we do not take everyone in our coaching program. We do not take everyone because this is not about the money. We have returned people's money if they were not willing to do what we ask them to do. It's like, sorry guys, you're not a fit. And we have basically returned the money. It's like, go somewhere else, please, because it's not the right fit. But if you're willing to learn, because if we're willing to listen, then we will take you to where Jeanette is. Yeah. Right? We'll take you to the 6 figures. Yeah. We'll take you to success. So go to Land Coaching.
We have already been the guinea pigs. We have already been the guys bootstrapping, and what we bring to the table is we remove the uncertainty of the how for you. And we help you implement without having to have the tough lessons that we've already had in the past, you know?
Right, exactly right. And there's John B. Just John, thank you again for partial scholarship. I have a scheduled call with my concierge tomorrow. Congratulations. We're super excited to be able to give you that scholarship again. So who is in again? Give me a I'm in if you're in right now. And then let's quickly move on to the next session. We have number 4. The key part of the thing is still coming right now. I know we're running a little over, but that's okay. I want to put what are the 3 levers to create power listings and have buyers begging you to buy their properties? Now, first of all, you got to understand who your buyers are. You got to understand their pain, and then you understand their psychology. Again, we focus on 3 kinds of buyers, right? The 3 kinds of properties, we did 3 already. 3 was superior strategy, superior approach, and a superior team. And all of this is available right here for us. We have the best team in the universe to help you get this successful. We have your accountability coaches that work with you for the full year.
Yeah.
We got your master coaches that you work with on a one-on-one basis. Right? We got the group coaching sessions that are there for you. We have the superior strategy. We got the superior software. We got the superior approach. We got the superior team. Those were the 3 things for under item number 3. So now with that said, what are the 3 levers to create a power listing? Well, understanding your buyers, because we focus on 3 kinds of buyers. The infill lots are the easiest one to sell.
Yeah.
The infill lots are you sell them to a builder in the area. You look up who are the builders, you call a few, and within 15
we just
minutes, you
had
have
a
them sold.
commercial infill lot that we just closed on, I think towards the tail end of May, where we made 100,000. Oh, was it June? I can't remember.
Yeah, we made $99,000 on that deal.
And that was,
That was like that, right? Because guess what? It's a commercial lot on the main street. We put it under contract for $90,000, sold it for $199,000. And after closing costs and the realtor and things like that, we made $99,000 on that deal, right? So
yes, the concierge is different than a coach.
your concierge is your guidance counselor here, basically.
Yeah.
Is your guidance counselor
We have like a
that helps you
three,
figure
like a
out what is right for you.
We have kind of like a 3-prong approach. You have a concierge that is here for you at all times. You have your master coaches that are here for you at all times. You have your accountability partners that are here. It's a unique approach, a unique mix of people, that are here to support you and really surround you with 360-degree support.
All right. Yeah, so thank you for clarifying that. So now let's jump into the listings. So the first properties, the infill lots, are easiest to sell to the builders, right? The second one's in the path of growth. Remember, they have 2 kind of buyers available. Ronaldo, it's great to hear. That's exactly the kind of people we want. I'm coachable, he says. So the second one is the buyers in the path of growth. Those are the COVID buyers that want to live outside, right? But then commute to the city perhaps once a week. Or they went 100% virtual, and because of that, they can now live in the outside of the city, a few miles outside of the city, built a beautiful home there, and still be connected to the world, right? The second one are the second buyer in the outskirts of town in the path of growth are the future retirees.
Mm-hmm.
The future retirees are looking for something very specific. They're wanting to be as far out as it takes for the lot to be affordable and as close as possible for it to be closer to amenities. So what they're looking for, they're not looking for the dream property. They're not looking for the property that has the pond on it and it is very specific. They're looking for a property that is adequate for them to retire on. And their main criteria is actually what's around the property. They're looking for how far am I from the Walmart? How far am I from the gas station? How far am I from a restaurant? How far am I from a doctor's office? How far am I from a mall? How far am I from the city for that matter? So when you create your listings, guys, you need to speak to your buyers.
You need to understand the psychology
of them.
Yeah.
And the last ones is the recreational properties like the 10, 20, 40 acres, or the doomsday preppers are looking for those, or the people with the RVs and the ATVs. They want to be close to a lake. They want to be close to a forest. They want to close to skiing. They want to be able to do dirt biking. They want to be able to do hunting. They want to be able to do those kind of things. So again, when you list the property, that you don't just list a piece of property. You don't just say, here's 5 acres in XYZ on XYZ Street. Who is excited about that? Nobody, right? Nobody's excited about that. But what you say, here's This property is 5 miles away from Lake X. It's close to skiing. It's here. You can go hunting, hiking, do those things. And then plus a local gas station is only 3 miles away because, hey, when you dirt bike and stuff, you need to fill gas in. They want to know where's the gas station. There's a small town over here with 12 restaurants and a grocery store. Fantastic. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
They don't want to do bonfires every night. They want to also sometimes just go to the restaurant, right? So you
Hey,
go
but
around
s'mores,
and there.
there's nothing wrong against s'mores at
Right.
night.
So like nothing wrong with that. But you want to explain it. So
Yeah.
when you create your listing, you gotta tell a story. You're not selling freaking land. I mean, the owner
Yeah.
transfership is about the land, but you're selling the dream of a dignified retirement. You're selling the dream of a home outside of the city where you can still work from.
Of family
You're selling-
memories.
You're selling the dream of family members around bonfire. You're selling the dream of being able to spend your weekends horsing around and dirt biking and those kind of things. So when you create your listings, you gotta put those things in your listing.
Guys.
Can you guys see how a listing that describes a property like that will sell 10 times faster, 100 times faster than a boring listing from a realtor with one ugly picture and no description? Who can
Guys.
see that? Give me a heck yes,
Guys,
guys.
and these
Give
are,
me a heck
and
yes
these
here.
are timeless business principles that no matter what's happening out there, what platforms are, are the sexiest platforms out there, because we're not known for being the flashiest or the jazziest or, in the industry, but we are going to be teaching you real, truly business skills, timeless business skills that no matter what it is that you're using, whether it's going to be through text, whether it's going to be, emails to your buyers list, whether it's going to be a posting on a site, that you're going to know and understand really how to hone in on the psychology of the avatar for the
Right.
type of property that you have. And you're going to be able to market that property, get them hooked, be able to talk to these people, actually close them, because marketing and closing on a sale are two different things. You're going to be learning all of these things inside of our
Right.
incubator.
Exactly right. And when you create the listing, the next part, so in the listing, we're in item number 4 right now on the workbook. And on the number 1 is knowing and understanding your buyer psychology and pain points. Like a retiree, his pain point is that he can't afford in the city, but he can't afford there. But his pain point is like, I still need to go to the pharmacy. I need to still go to the doctor. I still want to have a life. I don't want to just sit in a mobile home on a piece of land somewhere and stare out the window. I want to have fun. I want to see my, I want to go places. So you tell them what's around and you structure that. And that is answer number 2 to item number 4 is you structure that by following the AIDA model. AIDA is basically stands for attention, interest, desire, action. Again, attention, A equals attention, I equals interest, D equals desire, A equals action. And you structure your listing that way. Let me quickly hold it a little closer. You structure your listing that way that you can see that you do that way.
You're going
That
to get
means
their
that
attention.
you get their attention with a big fat headline that actually calls out to them. Guess what? For our coaching students, we have assembled the top 30 attention grabbing headlines that if you put that headline on, your views of your listing will double to triple. Who would like to get a hand on those things? Right? That's for our coaching students, guys. That's what our coaching students get. Our master coaches have put together have put their heads together and come up with their best performing headlines. And now you have access to those too, for those that are in our coaching, right? Now, then on top of it, you raise their interest. That's where you do what I just talked about, where you talk about what is appealing to them, what lifts their antennas, where they're like, oh, wow, this is like this 2-acre property over there. It's close to the city. It's close to that. It's close to a Walmart. It's close to this. I still have internet. I'm still okay. Great. That's what I want.
And
right?
you need to also appeal to the left brain of your buyer. You got to show them why this property is also a good deal financially.
Yeah. And then on top of it, financially, right? If that property is worth 50 and you're selling it for 30 as a wholesale, you make that part of the attention and of the interest part of it. Then you gain the desire by throwing in seller financing or something like that. You throw in now the terms, you give in different payment options and things like that. And all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, not only is this property exactly what I'm looking for, it is exactly, their surroundings are exactly what I'm hoping for. It is in the exact area that I'm looking for. It has everything I want. On top of it, it's affordable and I can do monthly payments. Boom, jump on it.
And
then
this
you
person
make that-
actually picks up the phone and there's a real human talking to me that really cares and really wants me to, has the best in mind for, you know, the exit strategy that I want for this piece of, like, you will stand head above shoulders in the industry.
Yeah, you stand here above shoulders. Exactly what happened on Monday. Monday morning, a seller calls in. It's like, I've seen your property. I've seen the listing. I looked at everything. I want it. Guys, how hard is it to sell a property if you have a listing like that? People call you and say, like, I want it. It's like, great. How would you like to pay? By credit card or by check, or would you like to send a wire? Well, pay by credit card. Great. We even have the ability, or we even teach you how to set up a credit card account that you can, a merchant account that you can allow people to pay you by credit card. How cool is that, right? So these is all the pieces that our coaching students receive. Again, the process, we'll dive into it a little bit more deeper this afternoon in our extra bonus sessions, Michelle, right?
Yeah, we have, I think, 2 sessions later on today here, but they're going to be only inside of the Facebook group. Then I think we have a Zoom. We have a Zoom one.
Right, we have a Zoom one this afternoon.
Yeah.
So again, this is how you do that, and then the third step is knowing how to talk to your buyers, because when that phone call rings and that buyer calls in, you got to make sure you answer the right way. You make sure that you ask the right questions, that you ask open-ended questions, that you solve their problem, that you ask them what they want to do for the property, and so on, and then obviously take, and then ask them closing questions too. Like, again, particularly those, I'm thinking again of one of her students that had very much a no sales experience ever, that went all the way to the point, but then there were lots of people would call in, but nobody would buy the property. So we just talked to Carolina.
We put her with Gary, and Gary sells.
We put her with one of our master coaches on one session for 45 minutes. And afterwards, she was closing deals after deal after deal after deal, because she learned how to ask the right questions.
We do role playing with you, you know,
There's some role playing going on and some things, and all of a sudden she's like, oh my God, I never knew that. That's that simple. It's simple, guys, but it's a few steps. And if you get them wrong, then you're it's like supply chain management. If you get it wrong, it becomes a bottleneck. Like, let me talk about bottleneck analysis for just a second. Like, basically, you can have a factory that can produce 1,000 cars a day. But if you have one machine that doesn't work, guess what? And if that machine only lets 10 pieces through a day, and each car needs one of these pieces, guess what? This entire machine that can produce 1,000 cars a day only spits out 10 cars a day, because you have a bottleneck. Part of what we do in coaching is we constantly analyze your bottleneck. We constantly look at your process and see, like, where is the bottleneck, and we help you expand those bottlenecks. We help you allow you to do more with less, and more and simpler, and optimize your systems. Who wants to have an optimized land flipping machine that spits out 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, or even 7 figures? Then book yourself a call at landcoaching.com.
Yeah.
So we have one extra session. Go ahead, Michelle. You wanted to share something?
I think we have named 3 places where you're asked.
We already did that, guys. We already talked about Zillow, Facebook Marketplace, land.com, Facebook group, Craigslist. All these are different places that you can sell your land through. And Jeanette, you use all of those, right? Yeah, she's nodding over there.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, he just have to unmute myself.
Sure.
Yes, I use a lot of marketing techniques for sure.
Absolutely. Great. And did you have a knowledge about all these marketing techniques before you came on board?
None.
No.
And I gained that knowledge through the coaches and through the support, the consistent support provided.
Yeah.
Right. Wonderful. Thank you. So again, somebody, Sarah's asking for me to repeat that again. Zillow.com, Facebook Marketplace, land.com, Craigslist.com, and so on and so forth. So again, guys, book yourself a call at landcoaching.com, because again, Jeanette had no knowledge of those things. And now she's doing $167,000 in cash, $250,000 in seller financing, $4,500 a month in cash flow coming in. And I bet you that in the next 3 months, you'll get that to the $10,000 a month you want. Because again, it took her 3 months to get this thing going, because the systems weren't set up yet. The startup phase. But then now, it's obviously she's in the hockey stick phase where things are happening quickly now.
Yeah, and so now number 6 was let's reverse engineer the goals and create a calendar schedule for the next 10 quarters to really 10x your income and collapse time. This is basically where you take the goals from day 2, whatever that number was. We gave you an example of $500,000. and you put into quarter one, okay, what are we gonna do? You know, it could be as simple as, okay, I'm gonna get my very first 3 deals at an average of 15,000. That's about $45,000. I'm gonna set up my systems, you know, in order to be able to do that. Here's where you're basically drinking from a fire hose, you know, inside the Land Profit Masters coaching program, and you're then pivoting in Q2, you know, in basically months 4 through 6 to getting maybe 7 deals closed. Maybe by this point you have 15 under contract, but you get to close on 7 of those at $15,000 a piece.
Like-
We're at about 100K 6 months in. Yeah.
Like Max again, Max and Caitlin Vollmer, literally they got 16 deals under contract in a matter of about 2 weeks. And then they proceeded to sell 13 of them in a matter of 10 days for a 6-figure profit.
Here,
Now, again, this is not pie in the sky guy that we're telling you. This is actual stuff our students are doing on a day-to-day basis. Now, how are they doing that? By plugging into the system, by coming in the inside, by being on the inside and using all the resources that we have on the inside. We want you on the inside, guys.
yeah, because you are capable of accomplishing even bigger goals than the ones that you have already set yourself up right now during this masterclass. And what's going to happen is you're going to come on the inside and you're going to see these people doing these amazing things, and you're going to very quickly adjust your mindset, adjust almost like at a cellular level. And you're going to adjust those goals, because you're going to see that, you know, at the end of Q1, you will have accomplished X, which could have been maybe your goal for the year. And then you're going to have to revise those goals. You're going to be constantly
That's
pushing.
a good problem to have.
You're going to constantly be pushing the boundaries of what's possible every 90 days. You're going to be hitting a new ceiling of complexity, breaking through that ceiling and moving on to the next, you know, and you're going to go from starting in square one where you have complexities of scarcity, not enough time, not systems, process knowledge, to having actually complexities of abundance,
Right.
you know, or like Jack likes to call them, champagne problems. I like to call them complexities of abundance, because that's exactly how it feels.
Absolutely right. So now, guys, in that process, you're going to become unstoppable. Who wants to become unstoppable? Put it in the chat box here. Put in the word unstoppable into the chat box right now. Because here's the thing, by the way, also one important thing that I want to mention right now is that you got to know yourself.
Yeah.
You got to know yourself.
Be an adult
right?
too.
Be an adult, right? You got to know yourself. Like, for example, I know in certain things in life, I am unstoppable. Like in certain things in life, I will not be stopped by no matter what. In other things,
Chad
like
wants
my
his
personal,
glass of wine, and you're not stopping him.
I like to have a glass of wine at night. Yes, I become a wine drinker. So, but the the other thing is, like in certain other things, I am not unstoppable. So in order to make myself unstoppable, I need to get help around me. For example, what is that? Personal fitness. We have a gym, just 2 rooms over there. We're living this 7,000 square foot home, custom home on an acre in Paradise Valley, Arizona, right? And we have a huge backyard, playground, all this kind of stuff, basketball court in the backyard. But in the backyard, we have taken one of our spare bedrooms and turned it into a gym, spent thousands of dollars of equipment. Guess who never goes in there, right? Because it's always available. It's always available, so I never do it. So I know I am stoppable in that. But if I want to be fit, the way to make myself unstoppable is to surround myself with a coach. So we have our personal trainer come to our house 3 times a week. And 3 times a week, whether I like it or not, she's standing right there in the living room and basically saying, come on, Jack, I'm not going to let you out of it. Go in that room, get your butt on there, go do some push-ups, go do some pull-ups, go do some exercises. And because of that, I'm in reasonable shape. Because of that, I'm unstoppable. And because of that, we are moving forward. So if you know yourself that you are not unstoppable, that you all have a history perhaps of giving up halfway through the process, then you need to protect yourself from yourself by getting yourself a coach, by getting a coach around you that is going to knock on your door when you're not feeling like it and saying, hey, listen, have you done what we asked you to do already? I'm not going to go away. If you don't do it today, I'm going to check in with you tomorrow, because we gotta be that little nagging person there that on there. But if you are doing, we're gonna say like, you're doing great. Let's do some extra thing. Let's do that. And we're gonna take you to the finish line. That's our promise.
Maria, and yes, it is possible to do this. I would say 99% of the people inside of our coaching program
have full-time jobs.
And are on their way to getting, those full-time jobs gone away. For many of them, they've gone away already. Anila Shah used to be a dentist. She's no longer a dentist. Tara Jackson, an engineer. She let go. Yeah, an engineer.
Right.
Chad is on his way to retirement. Bamzi also retired. Her husband also retired. She's out of a job. I mean, the list just goes on and on. But this is definitely a side hustle that will become your main hustle. And if you've basically tested and had to kiss a ton of frogs out there in the past when it comes to coaching programs, you have found your king program. This is the last and only coaching that you're going to need.
And Michelle Martin, click on the link right below the question that you asked on landcoaching.com and book yourself a call, talk to our team to see if you're the right fit. So I want to end this right now, or perhaps Michelle wants to end it. But
I have a homework post.
The homework first, but before we go into the homework first, I just want to talk to you about a quick story about the Eagle story that I like to tell. Like, if anyone has not heard my Eagle story, I want to talk about the Eagles. Stephen, I think you have heard it before, right? So it's a powerful story. Here's the thing, guys. Life has brought us up to, like, everything in life we have to learn to do is to not get out of, please click somewhere here, not there. Like every time Michelle clicks on it, she kind of like mutes us or something like that. And so, in life, we were brought up to not stand out, right? Like,
blend in.
If you're in school, you're wearing a different kind of color shoes. They're like, "What are you wearing?" And you go back to wearing the bland kind of color shoes. You're like, you stick your head out the window in your job, your head gets chopped off. Like, we have been trained to not blend in. However, where has it taken you? Where has it brought you? Has it brought you what you want to by blending in? No, it hasn't, right? It hasn't. So here's the thing. Here's a story about a guy that is like this zoologist or something like that, comes to their small town, goes into the diner, says like, "Hey, is there any animals here in this town that I could see that are kind of perhaps interesting?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, the farmer down the road has a chicken that looks awfully like a American bald eagle, but he says it's a chicken. It behaves like a chicken." So he's like, "What the heck? An American bald eagle that behaves like a chicken?" So he goes to the farmer, knocks on the door, and says like, "Hey, sir, I've heard you have some animal that looks some chicken that looks a little different." He's like, "Oh yeah, all of this chicken here. It's pretty big and so on, but hey, it's a chicken." So he like looks out there and looks into the chicken coop, and there's a bunch of chicken, and in the middle of this sits this majestic, huge American bald eagle. And what does he do? And like my special effects here, and sits there and basically packs with all the chickens and does all the things the chicken do. And he's like, "Hey, sir, this is not a chicken. This is an American bald eagle. I'm a zoologist. I know this." And he's like, "No, sir, this is a bald eagle. I'll show you." He goes to the bald eagle, puts him up on a chicken coop, and the bald eagle like flaps down. It's just like and keeps picking at stuff. The guy's like, "I'll bet you $1,000 that this is not. I'll bet you whatever it is." It's like, I'm gonna buy that chicken from you. It's like, "No, chicken is not for." So he sells it. I don't know exactly, but the point is, he takes the chicken and he wants to prove to the farmer that this is not a chicken. He takes the bald eagle and puts it on the highest mountain in the area, in a mountain cliff. And he takes the eagle and he throws the eagle down, and the eagle is like, as it starts falling. The eagle, as it starts flying, the eagle realizes that actually starts spreading its wings. And all of a sudden the wind comes, and the wind beneath its wings starts lifting up that eagle, and he starts realizing, "Oh my God, I got wings. Oh my God, I can see. Oh my God, I am a freaking bald eagle." And he lets out the scream that bald eagles let out that I'm not going to try to imitate right now, right? And he goes and he starts soaring, and he starts soaring away, and it goes away. And the farmer stands down and says like, "I'll be darned. That is a bald eagle," right? And here's the thing, life, the farmer, the other chickens, everyone pulled that bald eagle into line, right? And made him like made him like
Behave like a chicken.
behave like a chicken. And isn't that what life has been doing to us all alive? School has been doing to us. I'm like livid right now because in school some teacher told Sophia something this morning. I was like, what the heck? They're just like stumping you back in or so on. And that's her last year in the school, and then we'll probably take her to a different school. But the point is, it's a great school, but there's still, even in the greatest schools, that is being done to the kids. Like even in the greatest in work, it's being done to the people. Like, and yet, what are we? Every single one of you guys is a bald eagle.
Is a leader.
Is a leader. Is born to be doing something special here in life. And we got the path for you. We got the path for you to be that bald eagle. We are that wind underneath your wings that can take you and not let you fall, but show you that you're the eagle. Teach you the pieces that you're the eagle, so you can go out there. And sometimes those people that pound you down are not even the strangers, that might even be your own family and so on, right? But think about it, like that's why the support is so important. The support is so important, because having that support to show you that you're the eagle, to bring you to that first deal. Because I guarantee you one thing, if you don't have the support of your family, one deal will do it. That first deal, you turn around to, you make $29,000 and you show your family, guess what? Who all of a sudden is on board? All that family. So use that. If you don't have the family support, use that to show the family. Bring them support. You don't need their support. You need to be that leader. You need to step up. You need to believe in yourself that you deserve to finally have a different path. And we are here to bring you there. We're here to show you there.
And that mastery is not a choice, is an absolute must.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So mastery is a must. You're born to be masters.
Yeah.
Right. The world has just taught you to not be, but screw the world. Let's show the world. When we first did land flipping, we had people laugh at us that when we graduated from college and people went into management positions, stuff like that. And then we were like, what do you do? Well, we flip land. They laughed at us. 10 years later, Michelle went back to a 10-year anniversary of her college.
Homecoming of my university, yeah.
University. These guys were all like, oh my God, Michelle, you did the right choice. We're stuck in middle management, sick and tired, worn out, burned out, health problems and everything. And we're like, hey, just came back from Hawaii. We had a great day. We took the summer to travel around the world, things like that. It's not about really who is laughing now, but yes, it did give a little satisfaction. But really
especially when they laughed on your face. Yeah.
Yes, when they laughed in their face. But the thing is, every single one of them could do it too. Every single one of them of you can do it too. You just got to step into your own power.
Yep. So guys, you're busy enough, you're worked hard enough. This is the moment that you've been waiting for. This is your moment of opportunity. Today is the day. We want to help you. We're here for you. Book a call, get your pre-interview call going, landcoaching.com, landcoaching.com.
And then we'll be back this afternoon, but we need the homework.
Oh yeah, the homework
post. We'll be back this afternoon. There's multiple sessions coming up in the Facebook group. So right now, as of today, it's really important that you go into the Facebook group and watch these extra sessions.
And at 4 p.m. Pacific, we have a behind closed doors Zoom again.
Right. That we're here to answer questions, clarify, recap,
any questions that
you might have. We're really here to drive this even deeper and get your understanding so that you can take that action that you know you need to take.
Okay, homework for day number 4. Create your scaling calendar schedule for the next 8 weeks. Let's not talk about months. Let's just talk about the next 8 weeks. Let's basically put our head down. Tell me exactly what you're going to do, and is it on your calendar? Because if it's not on your calendar, it's not going to happen. That's how I can tell the future. I have a crystal ball. It's called my calendar.
Right.
So yes, the Zoom, the 4 p.m. Zoom link is the same. It's going to be the same link. You'll probably get an email. If not, contact your concierge for that one as well. And then inside of the group, Jack and I are going to be talking to Michelle and Tony Robinette, and you're going to be hearing from them how they've tweaked, some of the things that we have discussed right now over the course of these 4 days. We're also going to bring to you Brandon George is going to be there as well. I think is the next person that we're talking to. And then at 4 p.m., we come back here on Zoom.
All right.
For tomorrow at 9 a.m., tracking what matters, metrics, KPIs, basically the science behind everything that we've been discussing. You get to meet the rest, you know, a small sampling of these amazing superhumans, guys, like I said, that are at the top of their game in the land flipping world. And I can't wait to meet them and to really see, you know, who's on the inside and who's going to be there supporting you, fighting for your dreams, going all animal on you. Nobody else is going to care like we do on this team. And we have the credibility. We don't just,
Scorpion Pacific time, guys.
we don't
Pacific.
just talk. We actually walk the walk. These are 100% full-time investors. You have a superior delivery. We have a team of 40 that is here supporting in every single way, so that anything that you need, you know, that you have it at your fingertip, any resources, and that you can, with our help, basically go against the grain of your lizard brain of wanting to be comfortable, of wanting to blend in, because we were not meant to blend in. We were meant to stand out, to be co-creators with God, to create our own reality, to make it happen, you know, and not just sit around and be spectators.
Right.
So thank you so much, guys. It's been an honor. We'll see you later on today, and also the rest of this week.
And then the Facebook group is Land Profit Masterclass. Land Profit Masterclass. Go over there right now. All right. See you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.